Hi guys, it's Kales, and we're like a week into March, and I forgot to tell you what I read for February. So here's what I read in February. The first one is I finally finished The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. And I originally read this book because I'm so fascinated with the play, and I really wish I could have seen it, but it's not going to happen, just realistically speaking. And I got the book because of the play, and this book centers around a young boy who has autism. It's told from his perspective, and he wakes up one morning to find out his neighbor's dog has died, and with like a garden fork in it, and he really wants to figure out why the dog died. And you learn a lot about Christopher and the way that he thinks, and that's what I have to say about this book, is that the voice in it is fascinating. It's beautifully written and so interesting and insightful and innocent and just lovely. However, the plot and the storyline, I didn't care for it at all. That's why I only gave the book a 3 out of 5 stars, because I liked it, I thought it was good, but I didn't like the plot. I liked the voice. I liked the characters. The plot was kind of dumb to me. A little too soap opera-y for my liking. It was still good though. It's a very fascinating read and a very good book. And I read this book, which is going to throw off my white balance, but this book is called Z, a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald. I got this book forever ago. It was actually in my very ever first book haul on YouTube. I finally read it, guys! I read it via audiobook. Listening to it in an audiobook made it better for me because the actress who did the audiobook made the characters come alive, and it made it so more realistic for me and just delved into Zelda's voice. Zelda Fitzgerald is F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife, and he wrote The Great Gatsby, among other things, and this is about how they fell in love and their lives and just the craziness of it, because she's also known for having bipolar disorder, yet they didn't know what that was at the time, and just a lot of very interesting insights to her life. I think it was very humanizing, because often we just know her as F. Scott's crazy wife, or that's how I knew her as, and this instead shedded a lot of new light on there for me. Good read. I liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read this really awesome book in a day, and it's called The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness, and I really liked this book. A lot of people don't, and I understand why. I think I figured it out. The long story short for this book is that it's set in a world where, like, a bunch of things happen, but this book follows the kids that aren't the chosen ones, that are just kind of in the peripheral or the background of those YA stories we read all the time. It's like, what about those other kids, you know? And they talk about how annoying it is when the high school gets blown up, or, you know, somebody lost a brother when the vampires took over. You know, it's just very casual. And it's funny in that light, but what's interesting about this story is that it became this mental health LGBT story that was more realistic fiction than anything else, and it was very interesting, rather dramatic, but still really good. I really liked it because I liked how unique it was. I understand that a lot of people didn't, because they went into it probably expecting some sort of satire, but it wasn't, and it really took a different route, which I appreciated, but a lot of people don't. And so I would just give you that forewarning of, this book is not what you think it is. I think it's for the better, but just, it's not gonna be what you think it is. It's still really good. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars as well. And then finally, I had to read Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard, because that came out in February. Holy crap, I can't tell you much, because if you haven't read Red Queen, you should do that. What's weird about this book series is that it's not really anything unique from YA. Like, it keeps YA dystopian tropes pretty much to a T. Like, you know, girl from low end of society discovers she's got some, you know, secret ability thing, gets thrust into new world, there's a love triangle, and she finds out the government's corrupt and helps try and overthrow it. Like, that's pretty much how that goes, and that could go with about a number of other YA books. So why do I like this book so much? I don't know. I love the superpowers. I love the concept of silver blood versus red blood. I love the twist that came in the first book, which is very interesting how that continues in this one. I don't know, it just is nice. I don't know, I like it. It's not really super unique, but I don't care. I'm not really pitching this well. I can't tell you much if you haven't read Red Queen. So read Red Queen, and then you can read this one. So anyway, those are 4 books. Yay! I'm actually really happy with what I'm doing because I'm working a lot of jobs right now. Like I have 3 or 4 jobs that I'm working. So the fact that I'm even reading at all is really good, and I'm very proud of myself. In terms of books that I want to read for March, I really want to read A Gathering of Shadows. I'm holding up the dust jacket because I don't read books with the dust jacket on it, by V.E. Schwab. I want to read that. I'd also love to read See How They Run by Allie Carter. Don't hold me to these, but that's what I'm working on. Also, I really want to flip and finish this audiobook that I have right now of Dorothy Must Die, which I'm not enjoying at all if you've seen me on Goodreads and Twitter. Like, I really am not liking this book, but I have to see how this insanity ends. Like, I just can't. I'm not going to continue with the series, I don't think, but just I have to see how this craziness ends. I'm not liking it, and I don't think I'll like the ending, but I have to keep going at this point. I can't stop. So, yeah, that's a March TBR and a February wrap-up for you. Stay tuned because within the next week or so, there's going to be announcements for episode 3 of Book Battles. If you have read these, want to read these, or have any comments on the books I'm currently reading or want to read this month, then leave them down in the comments below. Or if you just want to say hey. Until next time, guys, bye! Let me pull out my handy-dandy phone and get the books I read. Because I can't remember. Thank God for Goodreads, right?